So we are live. So welcome everyone to Meshery's development meeting. This is a weekly meeting that happens every Wednesday, and we talk about Meshery project and the items that are being worked on it. So like the pull request issues and other future roadmaps. So if any one of you have any items that you want to discuss, or just it can be a general query that you want to know more about Meshery as a product. So you can list them all out in the talks. I will once again share this link in chat. And so today we have a couple of agenda items that we will discuss. But before that, let's ensure that we follow our weekly tradition. And that is, if you're joining this call for the very first time, irrespective of whether or not you have joined websites meeting and other community meetings, you can unmute yourself and introduce yourself, like what's your language that you use at work or in projects. How did you come to know about the community, and how do you find Mystery project? So, yep, let's take a look who we have today for the very first time. So, Bhavish, I think you are newcomer on the call. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Actually, I have introduced in the previous meeting.
So,
Yeah,
was
I
it
can.
on the meeting, this meeting, or it was on?
The newcomers meeting, which happened on Tuesday, Monday, I guess.
Yeah, so just like I said, if you are joining this specific meeting, for the first time, you can, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, yes. So my name is Bhavishya Mohan Agarwal, and currently I am a first year undergrad student, and I'm pursuing engineering. Uh, I have experience in like I have experience in uh, programming language C, and I have made various projects in C language. And kind of like I was exploring different projects, and so I came upon this like layer five, and one of the community members recommended me that you should join layer 5. It has a good community, and you can learn from the experienced developer from the like there who are working there. So I like joined the community, and from then on I'm regularly attending the meetings, and I'm just looking exploring the code base, and like running the like layer 5 on locally on them.
That's really great to hear, Bhavish. So, yep, really glad that you decided to start your open source journey with their five. And yeah, definitely, like from time to time on these calls we make call for volunteers from where you can get started with contributing. So yeah, please do keep an eye on those call for volunteers. All right,
Thank
then
you.
we also have Bhush Varna with us. So do you mind giving your intro?
Yeah, so hello everyone. So I am a software engineer. My name is Rusrana Kashyap. I've been in this field for approximately 2 years now. I've done my bachelor's in computer science and engineering. During my college days, I used to do front end mainly through React. However, in currently I'm mostly in backend in Golang, and I've been working on Golang and AWS services. So I'm recently new. I've recently just come about to open source, and I was just trying to find out good, good first issues, and this seemed like a very promising issue, and I feel like my expertise would be of help here. So I joined, and of course, as I joined in, I got introduced to the Layer 5 community as well, which I didn't expect to be that great. So I think I'll stick around for quite a while in this.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for joining the call. And yep, definitely, like I also see we have an item from you that we will discuss. So definitely it will be helpful, and you will also, get to know about the project in the community. So very welcome once again. All right. So next up we have Deepak Singhal with us. So I wonder if you have joined this call for the very first time. Deepak, if yes, do you mind giving your intro quickly?
Uh, Hello, Vishal. I joined on Monday
Yeah,
on the Monday meeting. Yeah, well, this is my first call of development meeting.
please go ahead. Yeah.
So I have to introduce myself, right?
Yep. So I'll just once again repeat that. If you are joining this call, that is this Meshery development meeting on Wednesday for the very first time, you just can take the stage and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Actually, my audio was that time working properly. So hello everyone. I'm Deepak Singhal. Right now, I've just completed BCA from I live in India, Ghaziabad. Uh, I am right now learning full stack development. I've completed HTML, CSS, JS, React JS, Bootstrap, and I'm quite. I want to try different fields also. I watch out some podcast of some a guy Kunal Kuchwa. He told in his videos many times that you should try open source. It's a very good community. So I want to get my hands dirty on with the open source communities. So I'm looking
Very good. Good.
to I'm looking to forward to collaborate and contribute to Meshery.
Great. So yeah, we will make a call for volunteers on this call, like I said, and also on the Newcomers meeting. So hopefully we'll see you there and we'll get you some of the items to work on. So yep, thank you once again. So I think it's about time we start with the items. But yeah, if we let someone who's new in the call and wants to introduce, you can do so in chat, and all the participants will welcome you there. So yep. All right, so let's get started. And very first we have is on Meshery UI from Antoinette. And before I request Antoinette to get started, I will very quickly share this docs link in chat once again for all of you who have just joined to for the reference. Yeah, so Antoinette, do you mind sharing your update on this one?
Sure. Yes. So I'm going to share a very short video. Any more of it, it will happen whenever I actually put the PR in Meshery to have everybody test it to see what it looks like on using a mixture of the new theme from Assistant as well as the existing theme that we already have. So for anybody that is new to the call, the assistant theme that we are talking about is our assistant design system. And this is just an effort of trying to consolidate all of the styles that we have across multiple apps. We have a lot of them, but we're not exactly consistent. So therefore, that's the reason for the name of the design system assistant. So we do have the repository for it. Let me, unless somebody beat me to the link.
Oh, the link to assistant. I can grab it.
But if somebody beat me to it, it's okay. If not, then um, thank you. Okay, so this is where the repository for the design system lives. And so we're currently taking the existing styles that we currently have in Meshery UI, as well as Meshery Cloud UI, to try to consolidate the existing styles and try to migrate from using Material UI version 4 to version 5, and as well as update any of the colors and tokens and so on and so forth. So
Sorry to interrupt, Antoinette.
mhm.
Will you be sharing your screen by any chance?
Right, yes, I would be sharing. I just wanted to give just a quick background on for anybody that's new to the call on this, but let me go ahead and share. Okay, so here is the video real quick. So keep in mind, it's not fully done. There are certain things that are missing. The header is missing the context menu. The side, the navigator is just showing the menu that we have, but it's not currently functional. But you will notice the mesh model they're already showing here. And I'm also using the dashboard where there are certain styles that are not in there, but I'm still working through to get through all of the colors right from the one that we're currently using. And so let me just play real quick. Okay. So let me stop here. So as I said, some of the theme are not really being applied to, but also there are certain components that are being replaced with using the material UI component instead of the div, but it can also be replaced. You just need to use the styled API in order for the theme to apply to that. Otherwise, if we don't, I noticed that certain components that we're using with the native div, some of the styles don't really apply correctly, so we have to manually add in the line to say, hey, change the color when it's dark and change the color when it's light. Some of this is just merely, testing. It's not meant to be a final thing, but it is something that we can look forward to.
And then you just got unmuted.
Sure. Okay. Whenever we do the actual conversion and making the migration to convert any of the class component to the function component, as well as migrating all of the Redux existing stores to the RTK as well as toolkit. Now, as you already noticed in the beginning of the video, there was a scroll. It went by pretty quick, but that was actually majority of the store that's being used with the toolkit as well as the RTK query. The only thing that is missing is the dashboard is not showing the data, but it's probably on my end. It's not picking up the Meshery resources because in the in the back end it keeps saying that it's connected to the Meshery through the Meshery is picking up the Kubernetes content that I have, but it's just not showing the resources because it's not connecting. So it's working, but it's not showing the data. So yeah. But yeah, so the one of the let me stop sharing real quick. Anybody have questions before I go any further?
Yeah, one thing, Internet, like, are you also this new Meshery UI is using the Next.js 14 version?
Right. So currently with this setup is 12, but the way I have it, it can easily be switched over to 14, like no problem. The only thing was the issue was that the app, the main entry point is very large. So what I did was I took all of that out and I moved it somewhere else and then created one very tiny function that will just use that particular app as an entry point. And so it would be moved out of that and then just try to call it somewhere else, like in a root layout or whatever, somewhere up in the components. And so that we can, do it from there instead of trying to have the app be bloated. So what will happen is there will be custom component, not component, sorry, custom hook. So there will be hooks for let me make sure, there would be hooks for the Kubernetes context change. There would be hooked for the catalog visibility. There would be hooked for the error handling specifically, helping with some of the handle errors that we're actually using across the whole repo. There would be hooked for loading the configuration from the server, hooked for the loading the organization and keys, hooked for the Prometheus separately from the Grafana and as well as the search context. And we also have the hook for the providers as well. Oh, and also the providers, I actually couldn't show the providers login because I moved the provider's login into UI, and I also have a simple check authentication, and the RTK query will also pull in the provider's the server's token from your login, and then it will just save that to your local session. And then, so you can't really see it because I'm already logged in. So there will also be a custom hook for that as well. And then the other one for initializing the subscription for the Meshery controller operator, and all of the others that are in the main entry point.
By hooks, you mean the React hooks. So some of these can be directly like implemented using RTK, like we won't need custom hooks.
Right, right. And the only reason why I had that done was because I was trying to get all of it out of app. So it's really just a temporary measure, but since we already have majority of it been done in the RTK, then whenever we do make the migration, we just need to convert everything to use the RTK if we already have the query for it. So I know that we already have one for mesh model, the connections, and I don't have the provider been added to it, but for right now, let me see, design, the ability, organization, and whatnot. So it's really just a very temporary thing that would be done so that we can get the app entry point like small. And then once we get that moved, and then we get everything else updated, the actual header, the navigator, the footer, the main body, get all of the styles, looking right. Then we can go ahead and start using the RTK query and get everything else updated at that point.
Sorry to interrupt, folks, but I just wanted to say time check.
Sure, yeah. All right.
Yeah, please continue if you.
That's it, but I know it's a lot to do, and we can't really cover it in this one particular call, and I just want to give an update that this is where I am, and just to be on the lookout for whenever we do start making the changes. So
You already have an open PR for these.
yes, in the systems I have the NetJS 14, and I also have the 12. But my current setup, the way I'm doing is in TypeScript, so I'm not trying to scare anybody with that yet. So all of the things that I am doing, it will be converted back to JS anyway. So yes, I will update the PR for it, and so once I have that up, everybody will be able to test on it.
Thank you, and then for sharing your updates. Next up, we have Sangram's item about staging playground. So Sangram, do you mind talking about this?
If you have more important items, we can move this to CI, but if you have time, then sure.
Yeah, actually, Sangram, maybe just a really quick question. There's a fair bit of work that you've done on the Meshery playground and getting that staging environment going. Here's the quick question: of the things that you've written down, is that largely inside of the Meshery architecture deck, or is that largely inside of the Meshery repo?
So yeah, sorry to interrupt. So that's something that has been on the to do for quite some time, and I know that's still not updated by me. I hope to do it this week.
Okay.
I've been a bit down as well. So, but just to give you a quick update, we don't have a lot of progress on the. Again, for people who are new to all this, we're trying to build a staging environment for Meshery Playground. There are two parts to it. Simply put, there is the Meshery server and the Meshery cloud, which are both going to run on a dedicated single node Kubernetes cluster. The Meshery server part is done. The Meshery cloud, which is currently already hosted somewhere, we are using that. But the idea is to deploy Meshery cloud in staging environment, throw Helm charts using Meshery designs. Okay, coming back to the progress. The Helm chart part is the operator part is kind of sorted, barring the issue that I highlighted last time in the other call. But other than that, we at least have the operator available. The challenge with the cluster is the way the Helm chart is, it's somehow not showing certain configuration options that I need. For example, one of the important ones that we need from a cluster deployment perspective is to be able to set the mode to standalone. So there is a certain configuration that I should ideally see as a drop down somewhere that should help me select between standalone, replica, and recovery. Now what's happening is, because I'm not able to configure this, the default setting that it takes is recovery, and it's trying to recover from an existing database, which we don't have. And unfortunately, there's no way for me to change that here, or change that recovery to standalone in any of the options that have gone through all of the available options and all of that. So essentially what's happening here right now is trying to bootstrap, and it should ideally bootstrap an empty database. But what's happening is it's by default taking a recovery approach and expecting me to provide an import database and source and all of that. So the deployment is practically failing. Now this is something that is provided by Cloud Native PG. I tried customizing quite a bit of the charts by removing a few things. There are also quite a few TPL files that I've also tried playing around removing. That hasn't helped, especially the bootstrap TPL file. So I think, again, I'm out of options at the moment. I'm still researching on this, but I'm not sure how far this is customizable, especially from the perspective that we just import the Helm chart. Now, the alternate is I can always come up with a custom design, which is we design from scratch, and we say use the operator. That's one thing that we can look at. But yeah, that's where we are stuck. We want to have the cloud native Postgres operator approach. And once that is sorted, I guess the next thing would be to deploy Meshery Cloud, which should be relatively easier. But from a database perspective, this is where we're stuck. If anyone wants to give it a go, you can always log into staging playground meshery.io, and you'll probably need an account with staging layer 5, okay, the cloud, to log in and all of that. So that's okay. The link is there on the chat. So that's where we stand with this. Again, any ideas are welcome, or if someone wants to give it a go, yeah, I mean, you can. You'll just have to take the chart from the cloud native charts, releases. The operator is good, so we're not working with the operator yet, or the operator is not the problem. The problem is with the DB cluster. So you probably need something like this. This is your, so if you're importing from Helm chart, this is what you need, this link, in case anyone wants to give it a go. Okay, that's the update I have. Not a good one, but that's where we stand. Still trying to figure out if we can use the existing Helm chart that they provide, or should we come up with our own design to deploy the Postgres cluster. I spent almost more than 2 days on this. I was a bit under, but I was not doing anything else. So I had a lot of time to kind of go back and forth and all of that. So yeah, I mean, at this moment, I just don't have any more ideas on how to fix this if we are importing the Helm chart. Yeah, that's all I have.
Pretty great update. As you've dug in here, just to make sure that I'm clear and the rest of us are clear, this particular operator that we're looking at using for to provide the database for Meshery's remote provider, the Layer 5 cloud, it doesn't seem to be, yeah, so it wants to go, it really wants to start in a recovery mode and doesn't, even though it is capable of initializing a database, a fresh database, this limitation is within the way that the operator works today, or is that a lack of like exposure of that option here?
So what I feel here is, so one thing is I was able to deploy the operator using their operator Helm chart. So no issues there. This was what I was showing last time, right? The operator gets deployed. It's just that the chart is missing. So that part is good. Now, when I go to deploy an actual DB cluster, it's going to use this operator. No issues here. But what I feel here is, given that there are certain options in the templates. So again, if we go with standard template, which is the cluster template, I don't have that option of selecting the init DB mode. So if I'm doing a Helm chart deploy using command line, Helm deploy or Helm install, no issues there. It works fine. What I think is happening is when we are using this tar file, given the way this is constructed, and it has certain parameters, let's say for Bootstrap. So for example, so this is where you find that recovery or standalone modes and all of that. I feel this is not being captured into this configuration here, into this model here, because I don't see those options here.
Yeah, and the difference being that this particular component that's on the canvas, the one called cluster, that's a custom resource produced by well, I'm assuming it's captured inside of the operator Helm chart. So that custom resource called cluster gets imported and modeled in Meshery from the Helm chart. And so the custom resource itself may not, or it looks like it doesn't necessarily, I think maybe that's the thing to verify is like if the custom resource that's published in their GitHub repo for cluster, if it has the init versus recovery mode configurable. Because I think
I can try that. Yeah. But I feel that, what is being captured in this design is only just this part is what I feel. Just the cluster part. It's probably not picking the other templates, especially the Bootstrap. So this is basically, referencing one template from another template, right? This is what is happening here. And for some reason, I feel that, it's not able to reference these options. But yeah, I mean, that's a good way, to kind of troubleshoot further. Maybe but then again, we cannot import the Helm chart is what I'm saying. So even if, I look at the custom resource file and all, I'll have to import them separately or create the design. I cannot just import the chart as it is, which was our initial intention, right? We want to import the Helm chart as it is and be able to deploy with it. So that seems a bit difficult at the moment until we have a solution. Either it's through us. I'm not sure if Cloud Native PG is gonna kind of look into it. So if we want the Meshery cloud to be moved to staging Meshery cloud to be moved to this Kubernetes deployment, again, I think I'll have to go back to the fact that we'll have to, for now, use Helm charts and deploy it through command line, get the staging cloud up and running as much as possible using Meshery designs or mesh map. And the cloud native is something that we can go back and once we have a solution, maybe re-implement it using the design-based approach.
Remind me real quick, what's the issue with the importing of the Cloud Native PG operator Helm chart?
The issue here is it imports fine, but when we do a Helm list, it's not there.
I'm gonna follow up with you in Slack. Yeah, this is
sure. So just to quickly show you, this is what I was showing last time, right? Once we have the once we have the deployment, it should ideally also list here so that we are able to update it subsequently, right? So it doesn't show in the repo list, shows up here, fine, but
Okay.
doesn't show up in the repo list. And if it's not on the repo list, we cannot do an update because it will say the repo is missing.
Okay, it's coming back to me now. Okay, got you.
So
And
I think for now, operator is not really a problem. Maybe we can live with that. What's the issue is that we are not able to deploy the cluster using the standard Helm chart that they provide. Anyways, I'm going to do more research on this and come back. But again, like I said, if we feel that we want to get to a working, full-fledged staging along with staging cloud as well, we'll have to do manual deployment for now using Helm through command line, and probably come back to this later. And if we're not in a time crunch, then I guess I can continue doing a bit more research and see if I can come up with something.
if you don't
I will
mind-
work on the document and create something so we can refer to it from time to time.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, if you don't mind staying the course on trying to figure it out, let's say that
Sure.
let's say that you're ultimately not able to figure it out for any of the above reasons. It's actually part of the reason for us to stay the course and figure it out is that it's one of the reasons that Meshery isn't 1.0 just yet is because it has essentially one final standing architectural component that has yet to be incorporated. And that component is a workflow engine. So Meshery does does any amount of orchestration and workflow, but it is but we'd like to bring in a different workflow engine. And the reason I bring this up is because to the extent that there will inevitably be the need that people will need to perform other orchestration outside of what the operators and their controllers are capable of. And so, like, let's just say that Cloud Native PG, as an example, just they were somewhat young, and maybe the only mode that they actually supported was recovery mode and not init mode. And it would be a shortcoming of that particular operator, that particular custom resource. It would be ultimately, there's a lot of discussion and design spec to go behind this, but ultimately the idea that Meshery might end up driving that Meshery would ideally have a workflow engine in which it can drive Ansible or drive Terraform or drive other systems. I hesitate to say like execute a function, that function containing bash or whatever else, whatever other, but that's the kind of a thing that yeah, that's the kind of thing that helps get proven out in a situation like this.
A quick question: does import from Helm chart, and after this we can move on. Sorry if we are running out of time. So when we do this import from Helm chart and we're giving that tar file, does this function currently understand .tpl files, or detect that okay, there's a .tpl file which also has configuration parameters?
I could be, someone might correct me, but I don't believe so. I believe that it is primarily focused on the CRDs, the custom resource definitions. And so to the extent that there's a capability of this chart that's only available within their template and not necessarily configurable via the CRD, that might be the hanger.
Okay.
And so
because it looks like that this one is the details of this is missing, like I was saying. So anyways, that's all I have. If I have more updates, hopefully I can share it in the next CI meeting. If there's nothing, then Vivek, you're free to move on to the next one. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Sangram. So yeah, I'll start sharing my screen. And so next item is from Innocent. There's update on Argo City relationship. So, Innocent, are you all up?
Yes, yes, the update is since last time. I think it was supposed to update the last meeting. But so far, I think it is done. The update we have now, it is almost done. I had a comment from Uzair, but I think he was just mentioning the
Sorry
I
to interrupt,
mean,
but do you mind sharing your screen and talking a bit more about
okay.
your update, or like?
That's. Oh, can I have access? I think I don't.
Yeah. Yes, you can share your screen.
Okay, this is top Adam. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Hey, guys, I think this is just a quick question. Uzair, do you want to answer it? Right, it's just a quick question on what folder you want to put it in. It actually doesn't matter that much. It's for purposes of organization, eventually for purposes of like versioning, but really
Actually, like more than the location of the folder, it is the structure. So if you see, it is actually using the schema definition for V1 Alpha 1. So I was just saying, Innocent, I have pointed to a link which follows a new updated V1 Beta 1 definition. So you can refer to that and accordingly update the Argo City relationship definition. That is the only thing that is left that is holding your PR. So you can refer the existing PR and update it. I will again link to the correct definition.
Yeah, you are talking about this one.
Yes.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. This was an example of hierarchical inventory, but in our case we are using hierarchical parent. So
yeah, it doesn't matter. Just that it should adhere to the schema. So if you see the schema definition for this relationship, it includes like schema version, then the API version, and like there is no field like API version. It is changed to schema version. So I was just saying, update the fields according to the according to the new schema.
okay. Okay, I
Thank
think
you.
that was the only missing part, so we'll be done.
Yeah, after we can merge.
Okay.
Thank you, Innocent and Uzair. So next up, we have an update from Matthew about Meshery EXP connections view. So Matthew, are you all ready to share your update? Do we have Matthew on call? Yeah, we do. I think we still cannot hear you, Matthew, or yet like see your screen. So I wonder if we can circle back to you when you're ready. All right. So Christopher, like your is the next item. Can you share your update?
Right. I do not know if I have to share my screen.
Yeah, please.
Right. Just
I'm afraid that it still cannot hear you, Christopher. Can anyone confirm like it's only me or?
no, we can't. I can't hear Christopher.
We can.
all right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
All right. All right. So my task was basically the server is not able to return server code. It's not able to return a moniker for the error codes. And my fix was basically going ahead to add the monikers, or rather, having the error codes return in a particular format that is designed. Matthew, could you probably mute? All right, thank you. So my fix was basically going ahead to return the error codes in this particular format. And the format is the component type, the component name, the event moniker, and then the numeric code. And my PR is up right here. I think I probably just let me just read right here. I'm gonna wait for that to load. As I wait for that to load, probably I could just show you locally what changes I made. So the changes I made was basically going through the error files in the server in the server folder, and then particularly adding the component as well as the error code moniker. And this is basically to make the error codes that are returned from the Meshery server more helpful when in case somebody's debugging or in case somebody gets the errors.
Okay, so are you
However,
updating?
there were just a few. Pardon?
Yeah, I was just asking, are you updating these error codes manually, or have you updated the Meshkit error utility so that it is like automatic and you don't need to manually update the error codes?
Probably I haven't yet updated the utility in the mesh kit. But I was going through the messaging framework and the notification center documentation, just to get familiar with how messages are being are showed everywhere. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
just your new updated format, like agrees with the specification that we have inside messaging framework. But the real fix or the actual fix would be like to update the Meshkit error utility, because these error codes are like generated every time. So you just define the error, and whatever the value the error has like is updated by the error utility. So it might be happen that again these error codes are when these error codes are refreshed, all your changes would be lost. So to ensure like your changes are not lost, you need to update the error utility inside Meshkit.
particularly that's inside the Meshery kit, right?
Yes.
All right.
I just wanted
I
to
guess that
I just wanted to quickly point out that there's this link in chat that could be helpful to you, Christopher, how to write Meshery compatible errors. So yeah.
where do you send that?
Yeah, in Zoom chat.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so I will start sharing this. Do you have any other updates, Christopher?
None at the moment.
Thanks a lot for sharing your updates. So yep, so we are going ahead, and next item is from Bushwana about Git pagination params in handlers. So are you all ready?
Yes. Let me share my screen. Just my task was regarding basically to replace the repetitive logic in the handlers regarding the page size, search, offset, and other parameters to use the get pagination params function, which is in utils.go. So basically, there were like 18 handler functions I had identified, and out of those 16 of them required these changes. I've made these changes. So most of them were from component handlers.go, and some others were from these ones respectively. However, one thing I'd like to put forward here is regarding the changes here, basically, specifically in pages. So there's this if statement, which basically states if page less than 0, then we use page equal to 0. However, in some other handlers that I've seen here, let me quickly scroll to that part. Yeah. So in this handler particularly, so there's this explicit check that if page is less than 0, then the page is kept as 1. So as I wasn't sure that if any changes was required in this, so I kept it the same. So this I require a bit of helping. Other than that, I believe it's good.
Yeah, so basically, if ideally, whatever logic that you showed, if page less than 0, then page equal to 0, that would be the base case for all of the handlers. But if you go on to change this logic, then there will be updates required in all of the clients like UI and Meshery CTL. So better don't update the logic, but just the extraction that you have made for to use get pagination params, that would be okay right now in this PR. I will review this PR. Will you drop the link in the Zoom chat so that all can take over?
Yeah, it's already there in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Thank you. That's it from us.
Thanks a lot for sharing your updates, Bushwana. So next up, Tarun had sent word that he will not be able to attend. So I'll just quickly ask Matthew, are we all set to hear an update? Like, can you go ahead?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so just share my screen quickly to give some context here. I started to work on Meshery CTL for the connection view. Looks like I can share my screen. Can you just click on pull request, please? So I have that pull request which is open, and I got some audio been sent to me, so I started to work on this. I also have one question related to the documentation. If you check this, the comment from Lee here asking to be sure to update this one to update the documentation. I was thinking that the documentation was self-created, but perhaps I missed something. If someone know
Yes,
what need
the
to be done for
documentation gets like auto-generated for CLI based on this short, long descriptions and the example. So you just need to ensure like the appropriate short and long descriptions are given. So for example, like in this, I see short and long says the same thing, manage connections. So you can be more descriptive about the command.
Okay, I have updated that. Okay, good. Another question, perhaps it could be follow in Slack. It's currently I'm trying to test those changes locally, but when I'm running Meshery locally with my Golang, I have some issues where I'm seeing the console that I'm not able to list the connection available due to missing connection. So I don't really understand why, since I just run locally with no provider. So if there's a documentation I could check or someone could give me some help just to understand. I want to try it locally before merge that.
Yeah, so Matthew, you can create a post on this on discussion forum so others can take a look and let's get fixed your
Oh yeah,
issue.
okay, in the forum. Yes, right.
Do you have any other updates or this?
Yes, it's all on the part I have.
Thank you, Matthew.
Matthew,
next
like
up,
just last thing, Matthew, I in the thread that we have in the Slack thread, I have added few messages about like the API structure that we are discussing about. So you can like quickly reference it, and the next step, there will be like only minor single line change that will be required after the remote provider APIs has been updated. So I will push the commit and then we are good to merge this PR. So we can continue the
Okay.
discussion in the Slack thread. I will tag you.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
All right, Deepak, next is your, do you mind starting sharing your update?
Yeah, I'll be sharing the screen. Yes, I want to just add this relationship between the HashiCorp Vault and secrets. A few weeks ago, I have updated this PR about mounting the secrets from the HashiCorp Vault, but I generally read the documentation of HashiCorp. I got to know that if you want to bind this mount these secrets into the hash vault, we need to have that capability of JWT token and the cluster role need to be binded so that here is a quick update that I want to just work on the relationships on which this JWT token and service accounts and cluster roles are automatically binded to this uh, vault because the vault comes uh, comes after about what to say comes from unparalleled Kubernetes environment. That's why as it is using some other resource, I think so, API version, which is its own vault version. So that we need to have that relationship first. Then this is the last stage of relationship where you have directly mounting the relationships. As I see in the HashiCorp documentation also, here if you see that there are certain ways. I mean, there is no only one way. Here if you see that you have that injecting secrets way, and the next way is that mounting the vault secrets through CSA volume, and there are multiple ways. I feel that which would value the users so much, that could be the valuable way. I think the console one and this CSA volume one are generally heavy use because the console is always used with the vault. And yes, I'll be working on that relationships soon. And this is my update. And
Yeah. So first of
Yes,
all, this PR has the same issue that is with innocent. So the entire structure is like incorrect. So it doesn't adhere with the current schema. So you have to like go and update that. And the other thing is like the descriptions are missing. So and when you add the descriptions, ensure that the description are based on the type of relationship and not according to us according to the component. For example, if there is a relationship between vault component, so the description should not mention like what is a vault component, but the description should convey how the vault and the associated components inside this relationship relate to each other or what they do.
okay, fine, fine. That is why I didn't add at now description, as this is in a draft stage. I think I
Yeah.
need to add those relationships and just club with a club as a this is the last part of relationship. I thought that this is the first part. I thought we could directly add those relationships, but now the mount doesn't work. Later, when we add the service account and cluster role binding, we automatically get this relationships coming up. It's my update.
yeah, all right. Thank you for sharing your updates, Deepak, and thank you, Zara. So next up, Slok, like, do you want to share your update?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I was working on Meshery relationship search command. So here it is. We have 4 flags. That is kind, one you can see over here. Then the other one is subtype. Uh, then we can add multiple as well. So kind and subtype gives this, and then we can also do it on the basis of model. Uh, here is the PR link if someone needs. Fuck. Is my screen visible? Hello? Can someone confirm?
Yes,
Yes,
I'm,
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
yes,
perfectly.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hello.
I'm unable to see the chat, but is everything good? Any questions?
Yeah, there are a few questions in chat. You can drop the link, someone will review and you can address those questions. Thank you for that.
Okay. Yeah, talking about the other issue, that documentation issue, Lee, I've already updated the docs, so you can have a look. Those, this one. So we are short on time, so I'll just end. Okay.
Thanks. Shlok. So yeah, let's go to the next item. Just search if Naman is on the call with us. Looks like he's not. So Saurabh, yours is an update. Do you mind, giving a update on your item?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Vivek. Let
Yeah,
me share my
please.
screen. Vivek, could you open the PR? I'm not able to share my screen.
Yep.
Well, for the context, this PR is regarding the failing test CI and GitHub action, which is failing at the system package level in the Meshery CTL. And previously, as per the review from the Alpha Aditya, Alpha X36, he told 86 that we need to have the model command which should be elevated. So I have updated PR that it won't be means it was previously conflicting with the work which has to be done by the report. But since that PR is closed, I have removed conflicting issues, and I think we are good to go. And yeah, maybe Uzair, could you provide the review on this? And yeah, there is another one more PR, Vishal. Can you open that one also? Well, this PR is regarding the we should remove the onboard command after the consolidation of the app command into the pattern, and it should be broke down to the import and along with the apply command. Lee has told me to test various scenarios, and I have checked with the three scenarios as of now, which is the import command, and opened the issue for it that we are not able to import from the URL, but we are able to import from using as a local file. Uh, and another is with the apply command, we are not able to apply the pattern using the particular ID. And we do have the error for it, but we're not able to provide with the ID. We are able to apply with the name of the pattern. And another is that I just wanted to have a question that what's the index? Actually, I'm not able to search it about it because I was short in time and traveling somewhere. So maybe I can look into it, explore what's the index, because when you apply the pattern and it just asks you the regarding the index from you, what kind of index you want to apply. And when I apply the index, it shows me with the another pattern which is already present in it. So maybe don't know why this is happening. Yeah, that's on my side.
Thank you, Saurabh. So regarding your question, do you mind continuing this conversation in Slack, Mystery
Sure,
channel?
sure.
Hopefully. Yeah, so thank you for updates, Saurabh. So yeah, like we are on time. And so before I let you all go, let me very quickly share the community calendar. So and check that out. And basically that will let you know about all the meetings that are happening in the community. And also for those who want to get an overview on the projects and the community, who are the maintainers and the technology, and you want to get it started. So don't miss out the newcomers meeting tomorrow. You will find me there too. So yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Till then.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Hi, guys. Thanks for that.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.